Yo, it's your boy Make Show Guapo, man. Street certified news, and we back with another one. Man, first want to tell everybody, man, Happy New Year. You know what I'm saying? This is our first, official time you seeing me in 2023. You know what I mean? We're going to keep coming with content and keep, hitting y'all with the best and most accurate street news and stories that we can. If you haven't checked it out, man, check out our video on Zach TV and his untimely death. We learned a lot during the research, and we even highlighted the USA Today news article in which they really break down their theory on exactly what happened to Zach and why he died. And they even break the story that police were forced to release the suspects. So, a lot of people thought that the story in the case was unsolved, when really they had found the suspects, man. They just had to release them. So today's story, man, we're going to get into the boy Lil Tim. Back in 2020, man, Lil Tim was, a relative nobody, a young guy coming up out of Savannah, Georgia. And, when this story originally broke, man, he went worldwide. Sadly, it was through the death of rising Chicago rapper King Von. But through all of this, Lil Tim has now gained a name. He's gained clout, and he's still facing, life sentence for this murder. On November 6, 2020, Lil Tim, real name Timothy Leaks, was one of 3 people wounded in a shooting at an Atlanta nightclub. During the gunfire, 3 men were killed, including rising Chicago rapper King Von, real name Davon Bennett. A preliminary investigation indicated that a group of men left the Opium nightclub. They then ventured and went to the Monaco Hookah Lounge at 255 Trinity Avenue. Once there, 2 men approached the other group in the parking lot. These groups of men began to argue, and the argument went to a fight, and then gunfire erupted. 2 off-duty officers who happened to be in the area also fired shots in response to the original gunfire. 6 men subsequently were shot, 3 dying and 4 being injured. One of those men being injured was Timothy Leaks, aka Lil Tim. Eventually, a video of the shooting would go viral on the internet. And when people watched this CCTV footage, it became clear that a fight did start, and that the aggressor and the original person who began shooting was Timothy Leaks, Lil Tim, and it looked like his original target was Davon Bennett, aka King Von. Tim was subsequently arrested and charged with murder while still in the hospital only a day after the original shooting. When Timothy Leaks was arrested, he was still living with his parents. In an interview, Lil Tim spoke about how he played major high school football for Jenkins High because his parents wanted him to. But when he would finish school and practice, he would go right back to the block. His parents, they really wanted him to play football. They wanted him to go to this good school. They really kind of had him set up for a life of, success. Coming from a good family household, Lil Tim would regularly visit his grandmother's house, who lived on East 33rd Street, a block on the east side of Savannah, Georgia. In August of 2020, so this is 6 months before the King Von shooting and he being charged with murder. In August 2020, Savannah Police Department charged Leaks with attempt or conspiracy to violate the Georgia Controlled Substance Act, theft by receiving stolen property, and obstruction after the investigation of a house on East 33rd led to the seizure of guns, more than 15 pounds of and nearly $16,000 in cash. He was one of 5 men that were arrested during that investigation. Among those arrested with Leaks included former basketball player Tim Quarterman. In 2013, Quarterman was a star player at Johnson High School in Savannah, Georgia, along with players like Ben Simmons. And then he would later play in several professional leagues, including the G League and the NBA. Currently, Tim Quarterman, he plays for KK Phoenix in the Macedonian First League. September 21st, 2021, Lil Tim was arrested in Savannah, Georgia for 13 traffic violations, including reckless driving and fleeing the police. This would mark the first time he was arrested without his friends from 33rd Street being with him. Up until then, Lil Tim was just a guy who was around when bad shit went down. He was eventually released on $2,000 bond. Timothy Leaks has admitted in interviews that the lure of the streets and clout pulled him away from his real potential as a football star. He would also admit that his family put him in a good program and put him in a good position to be successful. And in fact, he was successful, becoming one of the star players at his high school and also being one of the top wide receivers in Georgia in 2016. However, with all that success, Tim continued to want clout for something more than football. The notoriety has caused his mother, father, and older sister to have to scrub all of their public information off of the internet. Not only does Lil Tim not post them or really speak about him, after the shooting death of King Von, they removed all pictures and profiles from Facebook and Instagram. They seem to not want anything to do with the internet, a place Tim is now becoming a cult hero. Almost a year after Lil Tim was charged with murder, and while out on $100,000 bond, he revealed that he was still wearing a colostomy bag, a consequence for that deadly Atlanta shooting. He has now started his own rap career and is regularly seen doing interviews and posting on social media. Lil Tim will soon face trial for murder of King Von. He will be facing a life behind bars for what some say was the right thing to do. His legal team will undoubtedly use King Von's background to point to their clients acting in self-defense. Mr. Leak's lawyers will also likely bring up the fact that their client did not have a violent history prior to the shooting. He was just a good kid from a good family who was following behind the wrong people. Damn, don't that shit sound goofy? It's your boy MX El Guapo, man. Hey, street certified dudes, the most reputable source for urban media, man. Hit that like, subscribe, comment below, man. Hey, we love y'all for rocking with us, man. We out.